Michigan and became, so I could be a flight engineer. Then I went from there to St. Augustine, Florida, or Texas, August, in Harlingen, Texas, and I was a 50 caliber machine gunner. And so then they put you on test blindfolded to see if you could put a 50 caliber machine gun together blindfolded. That was a waste of time because we never flew night missions over there, over Germany or any place else. So you always had in the light to put a machine gun together. So they washed me out. Then I was sent to West Texas State in Canyon, Texas, to West Texas State Teachers College, and that's why I trained in this is the engine I'm inside my these three pictures here just show me inside this airplane, outside the airplane, and this one here.
All right. Okay. And who's this handsome guy here?
This was taken over in England.
Well, it was.
There's a place in England.
Mm-hmm. So, you had a lot of training, and then you headed over to England.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No. Then I graduated. And my crew member's wing.
Put that down in front of you. Okay, just hold that up there. And that's what you got when you graduated.
When I got with my group.
Uh-huh.
This was at my class 13. When I graduated my.
Uh-huh.
This is me right here.
All right. I don't know, you kind of had an eye on that girl there instead of the camera. You noticed that? Yeah, I see that.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was looking at their girls, you see.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Okay, so you graduated, and where was that?
Out in
West Texas.
Canyon, Texas.
All right.
Out in the Panhandle.
Okay.
About 18 miles from Amarillo.
And after graduation, did you get to come home?
No. Then I was sent to Anaheim, California, and from Anaheim I was sent to Anaheim was just a replacement center, see. So I went from Anaheim to Las Vegas, Nevada. There was a B-24 outfit there, and they were going to put me through a gunnery school there, and that was no reason because I already had trained guns, and so I got sick, and so then they sent me to Lincoln, Nebraska, and from Lincoln, Nebraska, I was sent back to Tucson, Arizona, Davis-Monthan Field, and that's where we took our overseas training from there. And one of the last things we did there was my position in the plane, because I had engineer's training, was flight engineer, and I was put in the cockpit between the pilot and co-pilot. So before he took flight there, one day, the pilot, I'm sitting in my seat at the cockpit, and the co-pilot sitting to my right, and the pilot goes up out of his seat. He stands up next to me. He says, "Ray, you get down in my seat. Fasten your seat belt. Release those brakes. Sometime you may have to fly this plane in emergency. And so you take this plane off to California." My crew of 10 and I get in, fasten my seat belt, released the brakes, and took off for California. Never flew a flew a B-24 before. The only thing I ever flew was this little guy here that you just saw.
And never had to fly one again, I take it. Okay.
Never had an emergency to take care of.
So when you say flight, combat flight training, how was that different than the other training that you had prior to that?
Well, you got in the airplane, fly around different altitudes. That's all. I mean,
Okay.
it was just actually a waste of time to me.
All right.
But for the pilot, he had to study the grass a little bit to find out if there's any mountains around there, so he knew what height he had to be taking.
All right. And as a flight engineer, what were the flight engineer's duties?
I was in
What all were you responsible for as a flight
What?
engineer?
watching the instrument panel to report any irregularities in the computers or whatever's in there.
Gauges?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Any dangerous.
Okay. So from there,
From there, then we went over to Tippenham, England. Over by boat, 40-some ships in that convoy, so to keep away from the German submarines.
right.
And then this was in November 44 that I started to fly combat, and on that.